What's going on, guys? Seancutshair back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I make my thumbnails for YouTube. Alright, so we just finished a 3-part series of all my equipment that I use, how to record tutorials, and how to edit them. And somebody asked that I teach how to do thumbnails, so I'm going to do that for you guys today. And if you're watching this video and you're not a barber, this will apply for any YouTube thumbnails. You guys can take this to your niche that you do and make your own thumbnails. It's going to apply across the board. I just happen to be a barber, and I'm going to show you how to do a barber thumbnail. Also, guys, if you're a barber watching this that doesn't do YouTube, you can use these apps to make different content for your Instagram or other social media that you guys use. So don't just click out if you're not a YouTube barber. So anyway, guys, there are a few apps that I use to do my thumbnails. Unfortunately, I do jump from app to app. I'm gonna walk you guys through the whole process, but first I'm gonna show you guys the apps that I use. All right, so if you guys go to the App Store, the first app we're gonna use is called Photoleap by Lightricks. You just look up Photoleap, you guys see the purple fox in the corner. Next up is Fonto, P-H-O-N-T-O. Guys, that's gonna allow us to put words on top of our pictures. Another one is Adobe Spark Post. I use Adobe Spark Post to build a lot of times in different layers on my thumbnails. And last but not least, Snapseed, guys. That is basically just a good photo editor. I don't always use it for a thumbnail, but sometimes I do need to darken or change exposure or go black and white on certain areas, and we'll use Snapseed for that. All right, so we're gonna start in Photoleap. I'm gonna hit this plus sign right here. It is a free program, guys, so you do not have to pay for anything. I haven't really ran into much yet that I would have to pay for to do anything better. So we just go to the free one. I got a screen grab right here. You guys can see I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself out of. And obviously, guys, we're gonna cut this out. We're gonna point up to the words, how to create a custom thumbnail. We're gonna use that for this video. First off, guys, in the bottom right, you can see the erase button. I'm gonna hit erase. Now there is an auto button down in the bottom left, and sometimes it does well, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll usually try it and see what it does. You guys see it actually did pretty good. So now I can zoom in. Most of the time it's gonna like grab my skin wrong because my skin tone is close to maybe like the white door behind me, or in the barbershop there's a lot of color, it'll struggle to grab that. So I'll zoom in and kind of check, and you can see around my hand it is a little bit rough. So now I can click it, I can go back to the erase, and I can go to restore, and you guys see I'll be able to draw back a clean line on my hand. Now the quality's not that great, so that's part of why it's not so solid, but I can also come in here and erase and get a nice clean edge around my fingers. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and export that. The top right button, I can hit export. Export, you see where it says export quality, PNG, JPEG. We want the PNG, that's gonna leave the background transparent. So we're gonna hit export, it'll take it straight to our photo library. Now we can move on to the next app. So the next app is actually called Pro Knockout, guys. I forgot to list this in the beginning. Again, guys, it is free, you don't need to pay for it. If you see right here, it says cutout, I can click cutout. We're gonna go ahead and grab the image that we just cut out. And of course, guys, we already cut the background out. So this would do that for us, and I guess you could do it here. I like the other one, and I usually do it on my iPad because I can come in and get real precise. But we can hit the check mark, it's gonna auto cut out. I'm actually gonna skip it because we've already cut it out. Now, if you see the head at the top, the red silhouette shape, we can click that. It will show us what is left in the photo. You can see the shape that's left. If I hit next, now I can blur the photo, I can hair refine it, don't really even know what that means, but we're looking right here for outline. So I'm gonna hit outline, and now I'm gonna go to white, and you guys see this is how we're gonna do the white outline that you see on a lot of YouTube thumbnails. So I usually like to do maybe like 20, maybe 15, not too much, but I do want the white outline so you guys see it has done that. Now again, I can hit export in the top corner. Gotta watch a little ad real quick. I'm gonna give up the opportunity for that. So I'm gonna watch a little ad real quick. Now again, you'll see in the settings here, we got PNG still selected, transparent background. I'm just gonna click album, and that is gonna save it to my photos. So that is all we're gonna use that app for, guys. We'll go ahead and close that out. So the next app that we're gonna use is Adobe Spark Post. So again, guys, we're gonna start a new project, photo library. And you guys see I have a picture that I have saved that is basically behind where I film at the shop. I can darken it up and use it as a background. That's basically normally what is behind me when I'm cutting hair in the shop. So you guys can use whatever you want. Again, guys, right here, we're gonna select, if we scroll over YouTube thumbnail, it's gonna give us the correct size, and click done. Now it's gonna throw up a little text box for us. We're gonna go ahead and delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and click the photo, go to adjust. I'm gonna go ahead and scale it down so it does fill the whole frame. And you guys see now we have a background to start with. Now what I like to do, I'm going to actually zoom that in a little bit so that the chairs and we don't have a lot of dead space. You guys can see now that is filled. And there's a couple different things you can do here. If you want to just put yourself over top of this, that's fine. Now, of course, it's going to be really bright, and then myself on top of it is going to match. It's going to kind of blend in. So I can click the picture, I can go to looks, and you guys see we have some options here. I can change, make it crazy looking colors. I can do grayscale. Darken is the one that I'm going to use most of the time. So you guys see if you click darken, that is actually going to be slightly darker. I can click it again, it's going to go darker as I click it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the darkest setting. I'm going to hit done, and now we have our dark background. Now while we're here, guys, we're going to go to add images, and we're going to pull in that photo that we just finished with the white outline. So I will add that. I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. And for me, guys, you see if I drag this to the corners, it leaves the white outline on the bottom and on the shoulder that we created. So I like to I'll click that so I can keep as much of the photo as I can. I will click that, hit adjust. You can hit nudge down here. And I'm just gonna nudge this down 2 or 3. And you see it got rid of the white outline that you could see at the bottom. So now all we have me in there with the white outline around me. I'm actually gonna cut it and move it a little bit further because you can tell that I'm holding the phone and taking a selfie. So you guys see now I move that over. We have myself cut out. While I'm here, if I need to, guys, I can go to looks here or enhance. I can do the same thing, right? So I can make the looks brighter, darken, grayscale. If I go to enhance, guys, this is where I can do some brightness and contrast. So I am gonna actually brighten that up a little bit. It doesn't look that bright. And I can sharpen it as well. I just want to make sure it looks good before I move on, because once we put this together, we'll have to come back through these steps to change it. So I think that's good, guys. I'm going to go ahead. Matter of fact, while I'm here, before we leave, if you see where I'm pointing kind of straight up. I want to point towards the corner. So I'm actually going to tilt this slightly, and that is going to change. You guys see we brought the white outline back out of the corner. So I am going to have to nudge this down again until that goes away. So you guys see, there we go. I'm pointing more towards the middle of the screen. Now we can export that and come in and add our words. So I'm just gonna save. It's gonna go to the camera roll again. We'll move on to our next app. So the next app, guys, is called Fonto. You see we're opening with a blank screen here. I'm gonna tap the background, photo albums, and we're gonna go get the picture that we just saved from Spark Post. So you see, there it is. If you want to, while you're here, you are able to change some of these settings, guys. These are just filters, basically. I'm gonna keep it how it is because we just did that the way that we wanted. So I'm gonna hit done. Now we're able to add text. So I'm gonna click anywhere, and of course we can move this. Once we add the text, we can move it around. We're gonna add some text. So let's do how to create custom YouTube thumbnails. So we're gonna do how to make YouTube thumbnails. So we'll do how to make. That's the font I like to use. If you guys follow my channel, I use this font quite a bit. We're gonna go ahead and make it bigger. I basically wanna fill this space above where I'm pointing. So now, guys, we're gonna edit that. So we're gonna go to style. I like to do a color pattern. I'm gonna click gray, white, gray, and up here at the top, guys, we can make it a gradient. So you guys see it is going, basically it looks like it's shiny in the middle. So I'm gonna apply that. Now you guys can play around with these. I'm not gonna show you a bunch of options. You can simply change it red, green, whatever you wanna do. I'm gonna go back to my color pattern, and that's how I do it. So next in style, guys, stroke is gonna be the outline. So I'm gonna hit black. I usually do this about 12. It's not too thick, but it is thick enough. And just a black outline. I'll go to style. This is the shadow, guys. So the alpha is gonna be basically how much it's there. The blur is gonna be how blurred it is. So if you go all the way down, you guys see it as just a solid shadow. If you go all the way up, it's really blurry. So I usually take it to about 20. I want the edge to be blurred, but I want a pretty solid shadow. And then I take it, this X and Y is gonna move the shadow where you want it. So I usually go 40-40. I'm just gonna move it down and to the right. And it doesn't have to be exact, guys, as long as you're close. We're talking about pretty minute changes. So you see 40-40, put the shadow there, and now we have our word where we want it. So I'm gonna leave that there for now. We're gonna go ahead and click again, add text. I'm gonna do YouTube thumbnails. And you see, guys, it did another color. So it's too big, it's going across my face. We can go ahead and size it down. And you see that's gonna fit there. Now I like to do a different text. So I'm gonna go to text, font, and you guys see I use True Lies. So now we have that. Now we can go ahead and size it for that font. So there's YouTube thumbnails, and we can go in and we can edit the colors and whatever we want. So, and guys, I'm probably gonna play with this. You see it's not really filling the space right here. So I'm probably gonna change that to make sure that it fills this space. But we'll go ahead, same thing guys, we'll go to style. I'm gonna add a stroke to this. This font is so fine guys, if you make the outline too thick, it actually cuts away from the letters that are left. So I usually do 10 on this, and we'll do black again. Go back to text, and guys, I usually use the neon yellow that is in my shop, and I don't do a shadow on this. So this is how I normally do my wording on my thumbnails. And you guys see if this text looks too spread out, but guys, I can go to style, I can go to style at the top, and then spacing, and you guys see I can do the spacing between the lines. I can also do the spacing between the letters. So I'm gonna just tighten that up. You see as we bring it together, we lose our outline, it just runs together as one. So we don't wanna do that, but we don't want too much space. So I'm gonna bring it to like -5. We're gonna call that, and you see that's gonna tighten it up. Now we can go a little bit bigger. So let's put the YouTube thumbnail word right there. We'll actually go a little bit bigger. And of course, guys, you can hit move like that, and then you can actually arrow key it over so you can see what you're doing while you move it. Then we'll click this one, go up a little bit more. Guys, I'm weird, I like have to have it on a set number. So we're gonna go to 120, and you see we can move that down. And then other things, guys, if you wanna tilt it, you can hit tilt, and we'll go ahead and tilt that slightly. We can hit tilt here. When you select one, whichever one you selected last will be on top. So if you guys do want to kind of overlap it like that, you can do that. Now you see I just put it over myself, so we don't want to do that. But see guys, I'm weird about these things. There's too much empty space over here, so I'm gonna play with this for a minute and see what I can come up with to make it look better, and maybe just be changing the spacing around in some of the words. But we're gonna play with it and see what we can come up with, and then we'll have our thumbnail. All right guys, so you can see that looks a little bit better. I just put that one behind it on accident, but we still have some space, so I'll do something like throwing a little emoji in there. You guys see, same thing, we don't really need to mess with the emojis, but we can just, you know, throw them in, make them a different size. We can throw them wherever we want, so we'll throw one in the corner, throw another one in, let's see, so you guys can see that I don't really use emojis a lot because I'm weird about this, like those are super yellow and the color in the thumbnail is green, so I don't do it all the time, but you guys can see you can add those. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take those away, and I'm gonna make a couple more adjustments, and then we will be done with the thumbnail. So if you guys look on text, I can hit align right, and you guys see that is actually gonna put it around my hand now. So I can actually make this quite a bit bigger, and we have room to basically put that right next to me around my hand. Now, this is what's tough. I wish I could make this fit better, the how to make custom thumbnails, but we can play with the right in the center, but I don't really care for that. We'll probably just leave it. That might look okay right there. And now guys, I'm gonna go ahead and move everything closer to the top, kind of to the corner, just so it fits better. And we will call this thumbnail done. All right guys, so now that we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit export at the bottom. Again, saved image, and now we're done. You guys can see we got a finished thumbnail. I was able to change the fonts. Guys, you can actually add fonts to Fonto as well. That's a whole nother thing. I'm not gonna go into detail on how to do that, but it is possible, and it does walk you through it on Fonto. So you guys can see basically based on what I did, take that, use your imagination. You can cut out whatever you want. You can outline it whatever color you want. You can use different backgrounds. You can use different text, different colors, and you guys see how I was able to create a custom thumbnail. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you weren't a barber and you watched this to learn how to make thumbnails, comment down below and let me know what niche you are in. I appreciate all you guys watching this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.